because we do this all the time. We're what FEMA should have been.
This red tape is a real deal.
NLaw is trying to kind of, heaven knows why, monopolize relief efforts, perhaps not intentionally, but effectively monopolize them. And the church is breaking that monopoly.
This is going to be the best day ever. This is going to be the best day ever. Wake up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WardRadio. I'm your host, Cardinellis. I'm joined via Zoom by Jonah Barnes, and today we're going to be talking about the wildfire relief efforts that are being done by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here in Southern California. It looks like, Jonah, if I read your notes here correctly, that the church... On this program, we say all the time that one must subversively build the kingdom. Apparently,
Yes.
the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is subversively providing LA wildfire relief by kind of snaking through NLaw and some of the red tape using local just serve volunteers. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so the church is doing a little loopy holy here, a little hole in the loops to try to get relief to the people of LA County. So if you haven't been living under a rock in a cave in Mars with your fingers in your ears and your eyes closed, then you might have heard of the fires that are raging through LA County. And it's a little bit hard to help people because of the red tape. There's a lot of red tape down there. NLaw, which is the Emergency Network of Los Angeles, is probably afraid of litigation. People going in to try to recover, clean up their home, and a board falls on them, or they step on a nail or something, and they end up suing. And the litigation were nuts about lawsuits, and so they're very wary about it. So the mayor of Los Angeles met with President Donald Trump, and you can kind of hear the tension, right? So she says, we're going to let people in, but we have to be safe. And Donald Trump was like, let the people in, like WTF.
Yeah.
And the church is like, well, WTH, why can't we go in? And NLaw stops them from going in and says, you can't go in because you're out of state. You're some big corporation. We're not going to let you in. There's only a couple organizations that they do let kind of around there, like American Cross or the the International Medical, whatever.
Yeah.
Save the Children, things like that. So the church is like, and decides to instead deploy its already well-oiled justserve.org mechanism to allow local volunteers to rise up and to help. Now, the church does this anyways. The church uses local people anyways, right? Joke's on NLaw, because we do this all the time. We're what FEMA should have been, actually.
Yeah.
And so Elder Bragg of the regional authority is telling bishops, sending out letters to stakes and things like that. Be ready to volunteer. Look at justserve.org, see how you can help.
Oh, really?
And as the fires rage, people all sign up and they go to these places. They even go to, because the website isn't just for church relief efforts, it's for all relief efforts. Yeah. So any local church like St. Vincent de Paul of Pasadena, if they want to organize a fundraiser, they can post on justserve.org and draw people in an organized manner. So NLaw is trying to kind of, heaven knows why, monopolize relief efforts, perhaps not intentionally, but effectively monopolize them. And the church is breaking that monopoly and is saying, no, here's our website that works very, very well. The church also has a bishop's storehouse that can provide some like supplies and relief things like water bottles. I think they sent over 10,000 water bottles down there that can be received by local people and used by the local people. There's churches in the Palisades. There's members' churches who have been burned down. And so they can't bar us from it because of this, like, you're not local crap. So the church has managed to kind of weave this third way and is still conducting relief efforts despite the red tape. The other thing they're doing is, if there's other organizations that are there, like Red Cross or Save the Children, the church is going to say, okay, well, what do you need? And has given over $1 million, like $1.2 million.
Yeah, I was reading these stats here, man, and this is incredible. It says, as part of its ongoing efforts to support those affected by the fires in Southern California, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has already contributed a combined $1.2 million to help 4 nonprofit organizations respond to the immediate needs of the people impacted areas. Now, obviously, that's a drop in the bucket of what's going to need to be done, but it's a great first foot forward And I'm sure welcome relief for those affected the worst. I mean, we had to evacuate work, and my wife couldn't go to the office, and my dad was in an evacuation zone and had to sleep at our house. And this studio was full of everybody else's stuff from homes that had to get evacuated for 24 to 36 hours as, frankly, a precaution more than anything. That's nothing compared to those receiving the worst of Mother Nature's ravages in the Eaton Fire, the Palisades Fire, the Hearst Fire. This around us. We were affected in the north here more by the Hughes Fire, but nothing compared to these people. I almost don't even want to be in the same sentence with these people.
You're so lucky, dude.
Yeah.
Those were random, just pop up wherever and burn whole blocks. Like, could have been you so easy.
Yeah. Easy. Random if meth head homeless people running around with lighters to start encampment fires and pyromaniacs given cover by the widespread chaos and thinly spread first responders. Yeah. Although I do have to say that second time around with the high winds here, up in northern LA County, they were much more prepared and rocking and rolling, ready to go because, frankly, of the embarrassment from the 2 weeks earlier. But yeah, it was insane, and we're still feeling the secondary and tertiary effects thereof. But it's good to hear that the church is doing all this, and so it looks like they've teamed up with. If I'm reading this article here correctly, and I want to put this on the screen so everybody else can see which article I'm referring to here. It's called "The Church Joins Relief Organizations to Aid Fire Victims." They've teamed up with the American Red Cross, okay, the International Medical Corps. I've read a lot of church kind of volunteerism and charity articles, and I don't remember coming across the International Medical Corps, but they procure and deliver urgently needed response and recovery supplies to all the different emergency shelters. So this is one of the few times where it seems like the church dropping a check to buy some supplies might actually be put to good use. And
the church does not lightly give out that money. The church, you have to be a top-notch.
Yeah, you're supremely vetted.
Not. Yeah.
But look at this. With the church's support, the IMC will be able to purchase, or already has purchased, and helped 15,000 direct beneficiaries through its service. And thank you to the church's generous donation, says Erica Taveres, IMC Senior Director of U.S. Programs and the Wildfire Response Lead. With your support, they'll be able to quickly deliver more than 20,000 pieces of urgently needed relief supplies to the Pasadena Convention Center to support evacuees. Wow, good for them, man.
Yeah.
Because they were affected by the Eaton Fire so hard. That's where my sister was born, right off the 10 freeway in South Pass, man.
And those organizations primarily focus on medical supplies, not on cleanup. So the red tape for cleanup is still just super duper thick. But in the coming weeks, there will be a massive mobilization of people to help clean up local communities. 80 members of the church have had their homes burnt down. There's been thousands of people displaced. And so now what was just interesting, there's a snippet that I took from Instagram. I put it in the Discord card. It's like a picture of firefighters and then comments off the column to the side.
I see it right here. Okay. Boom. Gotcha.
And somebody just reporting and quoting the church, and the church is saying, we're trying to help. We're trying to get money to local organizations and trying to do all the stuff. And it's got a picture of firefighters doing their heroic job. And then the first comment is a guy, Dustin Saby, saying, and why am I getting this on my feed? Who gives an F about what the Momos do?
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the families that are living on the street give an F about it. Dustin Saby, and the internet, jeez, guys.
Wait, who gives an F about what the Momos do? Okay, I am going to Instagram right now.
Wow.
I am literally pulling up Instagram right now. Okay. That is such religious bigotry at its worst. Right. And so Dustin
We're helping
Saby.
fire victims. We're helping displaced families get medical equipment. And you're like, why am I getting this in my feed? Where's all the half-naked girls dancing to stupid pop songs in my feed? What is this? Like, geez.
Okay. All right, bro. Wow. You must really, really hate Mormons if you're like, well, go F them. Dude, they're providing fire relief.
If you thought the fires in LA was a sign that civilization was ending, no, that's not. This comment is evidence of civilization coming to an end. Because idiots like this, are you kidding me? We're trying to help fire victims. It goes to show, do not pay attention to what these people think. Do the right thing. Let the consequence follow. Because these morons, these haters, you're never going to please them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the church has a million different places, justserve.org. You can go there and check it out. They even have ways you can help remotely, which is kind of cool.
I was going to say, I see on the splash page, literally the first thing you see here is help those affected by the LA County wildfires, volunteer to help. And then there's both remote help and 3 of the newest posts. But I mean, it looks like there are all kinds of ways, everything from canine support to meals for first responders, meals to people affected, providing childcare for people that may not obviously have the same facilities or access to resources they had before. Yeah. This is, by the way, I noticed one of these posts. It literally said like, what help needed? Disaster relief. Experience necessary. Just disaster relief. Like, what are you going to do? Like pretty much anything and everything. Just come here, please. Like, it was just like, it was the most. Just help. Just please. Come, please. Like our intern is just trying to write the least amount possible to come get help.
What's really cool is that the church has this cool democratization of volunteerism apparatus that it can use to rally people. So if like some little local church in the Palisades, like St. Vincent de Paul or the Church of the Holy Valley of the Sacred Avocado of St. Bracebus or whatever needs help and they're doing some relief event, they can post on justserve.org and attract volunteers. Anybody can go there and see it. So member of the church or not, justserve.org is emerging as kind of this third way, kind of this mechanism that's run by a giant corporation that can do it right, but mobilizing locals on a small level that can kind of slip through the red tape. Anyways, super cool.
Well, this red tape is a real deal, dude. I have to say, as a Southern California member of the church myself, this red tape has been an absolute pain in the butt because it really has kept people from assisting. Now, obviously, there's people who don't want to put in hard work assistance. They want to do like virtue signal assistance. And those people, we don't need to cater to them anyway. Right. But then there's people that actually want to go down, do boots in the ground, help out, provide services, provide volunteerism and so on and so forth. And I get the need to want to keep people safe and so on and so forth. But I mean, it's been how long? 2-3 weeks now, and like, I'm sorry.
People are forgetting. People are forgetting. This was in the news and it was hot in the news. And now it's going to be gone out of consciousness by the time you're going to let people help. It's like, well, now they've moved on.
Yeah, so, exactly. And by the way, there's going to be another disaster somewhere else. Like humanity has this beautiful ability to gather around those that have been affected. But at the same time, it's like, well, let us, I've had tons of people saying, well, what are you doing? Well, like, we've wanted to, members have wanted to, and surrounding stakes have wanted to. And the number one thing stopping us when we text and message our stake presidents or our bishops or elders quorum presidents and so on and so forth is we don't know. We're not being told we can go down. We're like, they say stand by. They've given out everything they can to the bishop's storehouse, and we've been told always give to charities that you trust, and so I know some people that have donated to the Red Cross, to local food banks and so on and so forth, but these are not targeted donations. And we've gotten a lot of Well, we're standing by for direction because the church never wants to step on the feet of government. Like our church bends over backwards to show that we're cooperative team players. We believe in being subject to princes and rulers and principalities and upholding and sustaining the law and so on and so forth. And this is why all these videos of Donald Trump showing up, hollering at Karen Bass are actually carrying some weight, because it's been weeks now. And you have people that have been affected needing relief, and you have people that want to provide relief saying like, okay, dude, I'll quit 3 weeks of work. I'll take PTO right now to go dig trenches and sandbags so that no mudslides happen in the areas that have been affected by the Palisades. We've been through this before. I remember when I was a kid, there was a wildfire behind our house, and like, this is what we do in Southern California. Like, people don't realize this. Just like your service in Utah may be like shoveling snow. I knew a guy in Lehi, Utah, who literally got so tired of being the guy that knew how to shovel snow. So he would get called to do like all the old ladies and the widows and the guy that had back surgery and all this other stuff, that finally he just invested in the big snowblower machine. And so whenever it snowed, he just wouldn't even wait for the bishop to call. He would just go get like 8 people in his ward and just go up with the snowblower, right? Because that's what you do in Utah, is the snow blowing stuff, right? Well, here in Southern California, I've produced video content for Just Serve of other wildfires where people's entire homes or businesses were just burnt to the ground in these beautiful communities up in the mountains, like back when the Paradise Fires and that generation of fires happened. Okay, so I've done disaster relief before. I've filled endless amounts of sandbags because wildfires on the side of hills, all of the root systems in the brush that used to keep the erosion from happening, that's all gone. So when there's torrential rains that happen during the rain season, oftentimes mudslides can be a big problem. In the 90s, there's VHS video of entire sides of mountains just coming down and entire homes just like sliding off of their foundations in the Pacific Palisades and so on and so forth. So like, we know what's coming. Like every Southern Californian, this is what we do. We retrofit houses for earthquakes. We know how to board up buildings in case the riots are happening. You know what I'm saying? And we know how to fill sandbags after wildfires.
We can build crow's nests on top of 7-Elevens with water holes in them.
Yeah, we just, we all got a really good rooftop Korean neighbor. You know what I'm saying? But like,
and yet, this dude's idiotic Instagram comment scares me more than any of that stuff. Like, there has never been a natural disaster so terrifying as this sentient human being with a human brain is typing this on the internet, and this is he breathes. This guy can breathe, and that just terrifies me.
Look what he said, dude. Who gives an F? Who gives an F about what the Momos do? Yeesh. Man, I am sorry, man. Like, you have so misrepresented. Like, if you're a Christian, good luck. Good luck when they're replaying the video of that in heaven. If you're, I don't know, just a secular normie, good luck again, man. Like, when it happens to you, you will care. But anyway, okay, cool. Well, it's good to see the church is doing something. I know some wards nearby here, they've had some fundraisers, like some car washy kind of just typical fundraisers to try and raise funds for some charities that they trust and so on and so forth. But it's good to see the church is coming up with a to-do list, because oftentimes it's like, man, I know more people that have wanted to help that I haven't been able to answer in a specific way than opportunities that have come up to help. And I'm hoping that this coming week, a lot of that dust settles, and it seems like the church is part of that organization effort, and good on them. Good on them. This is when the church is at its best. So
yes, it's awesome. JustServe.org lets local people organize to help themselves. Brilliant. Church is doing a great job. So thought I'd bring you a little bit of good news among the fire, except for that one comment. That's bad news. But other than that.
All right, awesome. So guys, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm pleased I've seen the pictures that the Pacific Palisades Chapel was at least spared. All of the landscaping is charred, and I don't know how much smoke damage there is to the building, obviously, because even if your structure is preserved from the worst of the wildfires, sometimes the smoke damage itself can be crippling as well. I've also heard some touching stories of people that were serving as mission presidents or in other capacities for the church out of town, that their structures were indeed spared as well. And I'm doing zero saying God picked winners and losers in this. There's zero of that. We're making that very, very clear. I'm simply saying.
But that church in the Palisades, that's not our church. That's everyone's church. That's everyone's church. If there's a disaster in your area, our church is your church. You come knock on the door, we'll have water for you or food for you or shelter for you. It's not ours. It's everybody.
Yeah, even the people that say, who gives an F what the Momos do?
What the Momos do.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, if you've been affected by these, please let us know how it's going, how the relief efforts are, if there's anything that Just Serve can do better. You know, I'd say, well, obviously reach out to them. We don't run Just Serve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if there's anything that needs to be brought to the average Southern California members' attention, we'll also help and do whatever we can. So,
and should Donald Trump just give FEMA to the Church of Jesus Christ? Should Elon Musk just say, you know what? You guys know how to do this. Why do we do this? Here you go. And
you know what I'm saying?
Hand it over.
Yeah, that's funny. So the website is called Just Serve. You can check it out right here. You can volunteer if you feel so inclined. As always, for this and more, please make sure you guys check us out at WardRadio.com.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up, top of the morning. The bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange. The bank says I'm already scoring.